morning, meteorologist Hunter Ward coming to you on December 20th, the morning of. We're watching for a bit of moisture that's coming kind of out of the south and kind of riding along the Alabama-Tennessee border right now, where we're seeing some reports of sleet mixed in with those returns. Those will be moving towards western North Carolina later this afternoon, and could bring some of you some isolated snow showers, sleet showers, and the likes. So let's go ahead, turn around to my screen. Want to thank Farm Bureau Insurance of Buncombe County on Lester Highway. Our featured agent today is Sandy Parker, and she is wonderful. We've got CP Cruz and Company as well. They are our trusted tax agency, and they can take care of all your payroll accounting needs and your taxes, as that deadline will be approaching in April. So thank those folks for being our gold sponsors. If you want more information about that, email me, hunter@ashevillewx.com. Go ahead and looking around town, 31 degrees for many of you, a little bit warmer in some locations. Better Homes and Gardens, downtown Canton camera. You can see things getting going in the Milltown and downtown Bryson City. A little bit of sun shining in on that caboose on the Bryson City Better Homes and Gardens camera there as well. And then Grimes Tice Anderson, downtown Asheville camera. Pretty view around town, but those overcast clouds, they're beginning to build moisture at the surface as we look at the BannerElk.com live camera up in Banner Elk that looks at Grandfather Mountain. A little bit of wind starting to pick up there, but around town, just doing our runs through. These are the Asheville WX webcams. You can find them on AshevilleWX.com/WNC webcams. TJ Hooper nationwide camera. This one could get active later this afternoon as those southern portions of western North Carolina, right along the North Carolina-South Carolina border, could see the initial snow. So a TJ Hooper nationwide camera there. Blaylock excavation camera here out in Haywood County, looking at NC State Agricultural Research Center. Country Fields camera over in Swannanoa, looks at US 70 and also right there on I-40. And the Marthaler Jeweler camera as well, as we can get down here. And you can see right there on Hendersonville Road at their new office, or their new shop. You can see traffic going by. These southern portions also will show you the downtown Hendersonville camera as well. Lynn Freeman Bush on the Hands-On Museum. This looks down Main Street in Hendersonville, right there on the Hands-On Children's Museum. Wonderful place for your kids to learn all about science. So let's go ahead. What I'm looking at now, I've kind of pushed away from the models, and now we're watching the radar. So I've got it running here, and you can see your cities populating there. This is the main swath of moisture that is developing and is going to push into western North Carolina. I think places like Andrews Murphy, 1 to 2, Franklin area, same kind of time frame. Highlands could get in on it a little bit earlier, but that's going to push across the tip of western North Carolina into where you can see the Bryson City camera will probably be the first camera we have to start picking up moisture. Then we'll move into the Silva area. That could be rain, snow mix, depending on how warm you are at the surface. And then as the afternoon progresses, 2 to 3 Waynesville area, 3 to 4 around the Asheville area, I think is somewhat of a time frame, a loose time frame for the potential for snowflakes around western North Carolina. But as you see, we are going to be watching that moisture right here. I'll zoom it out. This is the northern periphery of moisture, and you can see some snowflakes even being picked up in Nashville. A very dynamic system here, and you can watch that moisture kind of populate in. We'll see as that progresses. My thermometer and is telling me it's around 32 degrees. Humidity in the 80s, which, if these snowflakes are able to make it without drying through the atmosphere in the higher area where I was telling you guys there's a little bit of dry air that's built itself up over the mountains of western North Carolina. We'll see how that all conspires over the next, it's really a 12-hour time frame here. I think by 8 or 9 o'clock tonight, most of this moisture will be out of here, but we're watching for that. So as you see what's going on outside your window, make sure to report to Asheville WX weather community on Facebook, and just be mindful of what could happen this afternoon. Don't be surprised if you see a few snowflakes flying around the area. So let's focus a little bit more on what's going to happen in the coming days. I'll show you what the GEFS shows. You can see, as far as snowfall, there is a potential on this backside northwest flow. After the system moves through, after that cold comes through, there is the potential for some snow to occur. So I'm thinking Friday night sometime, midday Friday, we could see snow begin to pick up, but nothing real significant. I know that the models were showing some, higher totals and a much more concerning situation a couple days ago. That has subsided. This system looks pretty certain that it's going to become a blizzard for somewhere up north, but not for us. And that will just bring wind and cold, not a large amount of precipitation. So it's what the GEF is showing as far as your coming days of potential for snow. So let's also look at the temperatures as well. Wow. So this model is showing the potential early Saturday morning for it to get around 1 degree here in western North Carolina. So take that with a grain of salt. We may see maybe just 4 or 5 degrees, but it hasn't been that cold in quite a long time. So need to be leaving things dripping, check your pipes, any outside pipes, make sure they're insulated. Do all those necessary precautions to ensure that you don't have problems with the extreme cold. We don't experience that very often, but plumbers are going to be busy this weekend if I had to predict that. So, interesting system coming up. Very cold Arctic air moving through. A small chance at some accumulating snowfall, around an inch or less for the Asheville proper area. Along the North Carolina-Tennessee border, we could see upwards of 6 inches of snow in those highest elevations. So be mindful of that if you live above 3,500 feet. A little bit different situation for you. Also, you could get closer to -5, -7. Very interesting system setting up. So, as we progress forward, what we're going to see is cold move through, and then another setup mid to late next week. Some of the models are showing a little bit more potential for snowfall, but and that's after Christmas. We're going to be cold through Christmas, and then as the week progresses, I think that end of next week we could be in the 60s. So a pretty stark transition. Possibility for snow in between. Like I said, just a wild week of weather coming up. Do my best to keep track of it. But watch today for the snow. That's the main premises of today's update. And make sure you follow us on TikTok, Asheville WX, and Twitter, AVLWX, and also on Instagram, AVLWX. So thank you guys for joining me. Have a great afternoon, and make sure you send those reports our way and to the National Weather Service. Thanks.